We're continuing the study of the zodiac signs, in particular by looking at the expressions. The expressions are blocks of 5 degrees of each of the zodiac signs. Last time we looked at the block from the 1st degree to the 5th degree of Virgo, which was conviction. This week we're studying the second block of 5, the expression called adaptation, the 6th to the 10th degree of Virgo. So adaptation, though required to conform, we are also compelled to express our true selves. We learn to adapt and be self-expressive without shocking others. As we take the initiative to dance our own dance, and yet at times to refrain, contemplating the inner dance. True originality is realized when we find a state of mind which allows for us simultaneously to know both duality and transcendence. So another take on the same 5 degrees, finding poise amidst emotional turbulence, we come to an unemotional acceptance of what cannot be changed. Receiving instruction towards mastery and boldly breaking new ground according to our own vision, we can rise above the need for parenting. So in this second paragraph, I'm specifically interpreting the 5 different degrees and bringing them into a collective meaning. So Virgo 6, a merry-go-round, coming to terms with the life force. We say finding poise amidst emotional turbulence. Virgo 7, a harem, being, not doing. We come to an unemotional acceptance of what cannot be changed. Virgo 8, the first dancing instruction, apprenticeship. Receiving instruction towards mastery. Virgo 9, a man making a futurist drawing, boldly breaking new ground. And boldly breaking new ground according to our own vision. Virgo 10, 2 heads looking out beyond the shadows, the mind's ability to grasp higher realities. We can rise above the need for parenting. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm building up a block of 5 from the individual Sabian symbols. Now, it's not straightforward, and we do need to do some stretching of the mind and discussion before we get to it. But if you remember the last time we did this with conviction, bit by bit, as we were going through the session together, we became more and more aware of what conviction is, why that relates to Virgo, and how we can look at it in great detail when we look at the individual Sabian symbols. So that's the process that we want to try and go through today. Let's first discuss adaptation. And we can see how in the text we've just been looking at, the adaptation in this case is whether to be self-expressive or self-contained and inwardly expressive, adapting to the needs of our environment. And there are 5 different bits of that. Coming to terms with the life force. So that not only means what's bubbling up within you that must come out, but it also means the vitality of the person that you're with, or the persons that you're with, that they want to do that as well at the same time. Second one, the harem, where you're not actually in a position of choice. You have to accept what is the case. And sometimes the vitality that is the excitement of life just isn't there. You know, you just can't get it, and you just hang on in there doing the same old to keep on with the routines. That's the harem image. The idea of apprenticeship is important. So we have to learn and be trained and be guided in how to adapt ourselves to situations. Now that obviously brings our attention to parenting at the very beginning of this process, which we come to later. And then the man making a futurist drawing, boldly breaking new ground. This is how our own imagination is the beginning of creativity. And in any particular moment, even though it might not seem to be new and unique, we're actually making up a totally new world for ourselves. Our perception has never been exactly like this before. And we're the ones that decide how to interpret this moment. And that changes a lot very quickly in anyone's life. And then finally, the mind's ability to grasp higher realities. This is the whole principle of guidance being superseded, where you've become your own guide, and you've a series of teachings to base your inner guidance upon. And these are the experiences of other people. And that's what parenting gives us. And yet we go to a point where we're not actually copying other people. And that can include our teachers and the very well-respected wise men and women of the past. We can actually get to a point where we've done enough of that. We've been trained enough. And now we have to make it all up ourselves with confidence, the confidence to act spontaneously in the moment and adapt, therefore, to what's going on within ourselves and what's going on environmentally.